with a race preview tomorrow. I'm running my first race in almost 4 months since Thanksgiving. I'm very amped up for it. It's the Mud Dog Half Marathon up in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, about an hour away. And I ran in the same series of race. It's called the Winter Warriors Race Series. I ran the half marathon in January of last year in the same series. Haven't run this particular race, but it's the same course that they do 3 times, so essentially I have. Really looking forward to this because it's been a long time coming. I haven't had a race, like I said, in a long time, so been champing at the bit a little bit to get out there, and really looking forward to knowing where my fitness is at after all the training I've been doing. I'm leading up to the Boston Marathon here. Got about 5 weeks to go, a little more than that. Monday will be 5 weeks, so I'm really anxious to see my half marathon time so I can set up a goal for Boston, a realistic goal. So we'll see how it goes. Some things that are working against me. I was actually supposed to do this race, half marathon, last weekend, but the scheduling, trying to find a half marathon, didn't really work out, so I had to flip-flop my training a little bit, and that meant doing a lactate threshold run this Thursday. So my legs are still pretty sore from that, and so we'll see how bad they are when I wake up in the morning, but surely won't be at my best. I haven't done a full taper, etc., but I'm hoping I should still be in pretty good shape. I should be in PR shape. Last year I set my half marathon PR at the same race, again in the middle of marathon training without a taper, so I feel like I should be able to beat that regardless. The weather looks pretty good. The one question I have is part of the race is on dirt roads. So I actually asked yesterday on Facebook, the page, how the roads are looking. So I'm hoping that they're not super muddy, and that won't slow us down a whole lot. But we'll see how that works out. Not much you can do about that. I'm probably going to bring trail shoes just in case it's real bad, but hopefully I won't have to use those. One thing, speaking of the course, that I like about this race, it actually comes to a T, and then you run down one end of the T, you come back, and then you run back towards the start. So the nice thing about that is you get a glimpse of both people who are ahead of you, how far ahead of you they are, and people who are behind you that might be catching you. So it's a good way to kind of get a little glimpse of the competition a couple times there. So if you're trying to catch up from behind, you can kind of gauge how far ahead of you those people are. In a lot of races you don't necessarily get that. Out and back course you get it once maybe. Here you get it twice. So that's kind of a neat feature. Something I kind of remembered last time around that was nice. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The course is pretty level, I think. I think it generally slopes up during the first half and then it gradually slopes down in the second half. One thing I remember from last year is that I had like 4 7-minute miles in a row in the first half of the race. And I was really discouraged by that because I thought I should be much faster than that. And somehow I was also, it wasn't just my time, I was just feeling like I was slow. I was like, I don't feel like I have it today. And then I somehow pulled it out in the second half and ran a PR after all. So that's one thing I'm going to keep in mind, is to remember that first half is kind of gradually uphill. And if I do start, have a few slow miles, splits in there, not to get discouraged, and remember last year that I was able to overcome that. So that probably will work to my advantage. I'm curious, this is a race, again, one of those races that I could win depending on who shows up. There's one guy that's really fast that lives up there that won the last in the series. He's like a 1:10, 1:15 half marathon kind of guy, maybe even faster than that at his best, but he shows up to these things sometimes, but I don't know if he'll be there tomorrow, but we'll see. Otherwise I could be competitive for first place overall, which is still a goal of mine. I've gotten second place a couple times now. Would love to get a #1 overall before I age out of the possibility. So we'll see if that happens. I'd be real happy. But most importantly, I'm just trying to get the feedback, know where my training is at, know what a realistic pace for Boston is, and look forward to Boston in a few weeks. So I think that's about all I have to say. Thank you for watching this. Subscribe if you like the content. I'll be posting a race review afterwards, tell you how it goes. I'm going to do another review here of the Hoka Nepali now that I've gotten a lot of miles on those, a few more details that I didn't talk about in my first impressions video. And yeah, so subscribe if you like the content. I'll be back soon, and thanks again for watching.